Someday I hope to become the governor of Connecticut. Now, when I say someday, I mean this is a long term goal. I'm thinking 20, 25 years in the future. I have a lot of steps to take first to try to build up a political career and get people to know me and trust me and everything before I try to take that big step. Regardless, in the meantime, I'm gonna run my social media here and build it up over the years and talk about my policies and ideas for the state and talk about maybe talk crap about other politicians, some dumb post they have or something, and I can come on here and just talk about it and really just build, I should say, a understanding of who I am and what I'd be about, and maybe get a following, and then that way, then by the time I do actually run in 20 years or whatever, hopefully I have a decent enough following. People know me. Hey, I've seen this guy's videos. I really agree with what he's going to say. And it gives me 20 years of campaigning rather than trying to jam it all in 1 year during a campaign season like a lot of politicians end up doing. So, anyways, some of these videos, like I said, are going to be policies and ideas that I would implement. Some of them are kind of like serious, like the one that I talked about with reducing the sales tax and eliminating the income tax. And then others are going to be kind of goofy, kind of like Trump's executive order that he did on like day one when he banned paper straws. Yeah, paper straws suck, but it's kind of silly to make that like a day one executive order. Well, this is kind of one of those goofy ones, like a paper straws executive order ban. What it would be is it's going to be with returnables in Connecticut. Currently, or more recently, I should say, they've been increased to 10 cents per container from 5 cents that they were forever. Well, what I would do is drop it back down to 5 cents per container. As somebody who's been collecting cans and redeeming cans literally my entire life, like my dad used to take my brother and I out on Saturdays and we just drive around and on the back roads of in the country where we lived. Not country like foreign country. I've always lived in Connecticut, but you know what I mean, like country versus rural. And we'd look on the side of the road and just collect cans. And once the bed of my dad's truck was full, we'd go and redeem them, and we'd get like, I don't know, 40, 60 bucks, and it was cool. And free money just for picking up cans. And yeah, even to this day, I still collect my cans, and once I usually have about 1 or 2 trash bags full, I go and redeem them. So I can appreciate the 10 cents. It's awesome to get like a big boost in comparison to what I used to get. I'm used to like, oh, this bag's like 20 bucks. Now I go and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, it's 40 bucks now. That's cool. However, I would drop it back down to 5 cents because I feel like there's a lot that possibly wasn't properly thought of before this was implemented. For starters, there's the additional cost on everything that you buy. On the small scale, like say you go and buy a 20-ounce bottle of soda from a gas station or something, it's only 10 cents. Okay. Soda's expensive nowadays as it is, so 10 cents more isn't very attractive, but in the grand scheme of things, 10 cents, whatever. But if you buy a case of something, that's where it really starts to add up. Just this past weekend, I went to Walmart to buy one of their 40 packs of bottled waters, one of the Walmart brand ones. It goes for like $6 normally, but because there's 40 water bottles at 10 cents each, that added $4 to the price. So even though the sticker price is $6 for that, when you pay, it's $10. And sure, maybe it's at $10. Yeah, whatever. That's not that bad. It's only $10. 2.5. It's no big deal. True, but when you look at it from like an economic standpoint, that is a 66% price increase. That's ridiculous. Think about anything else that could go up 66%. Say you go to a restaurant and normally it's $60 for you and your spouse or whatever. And then all of a sudden they increase the price to $66 and now it's costing you $100. It's substantial. That's a lot. So first off, there's just that. That's like a huge, I don't know, I don't want to call it a secret tax, but it's just like almost like a secret tax. You see $6 on the sticker and then you're paying $10 at the register. That's ridiculous. And with that, you could argue, okay, well, if you do your returnables, you'll get it back. Sure, I mean, in the moment it sucks because you're short $10, and say you buy a case of water, I don't know, every 2 weeks or something. Every 2 weeks, you're $4 extra short, but then after a couple months, you go and return your bottles and you get all that money back, and then it's like you got a nice little payday, stack of 20s. Maybe stack of 5s, actually, but you know what I mean. But anyways, so you can't argue that. But here's the thing. not everybody does returnables. Kind of a lot of people actually don't do returnables. A lot of people either just straight up throw their returnables in the trash. I see this all the time at my job. I look in the trash bag and it's full of cans, water bottles, soda bottles, etc. And I always think about taking them out because I'm like, that's literally money that people just threw away. And over the years, that's a lot that adds up. So people do that. People maybe they recycle them, but still they're just recycling them, like throwing them in their bin. And then when the weekly trash comes, it gets recycled like it's a normal recyclable, like paper or cardboard. So, or they give it to other people. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of avenues that people are taking where they're not even getting their money back. So they're straight up dealing with a 66% price increase, well, on the 40 pack of waters at least. And it's just like, it's a sunk cost to them. That's just the cost. It's not a $6 package of water. It's a $10 package of water is how they need to look at it, because that's what they're paying. They're not getting any reimbursement. It's ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even at 5 cents, that's still $2 more that you have to pay. So that $6 ticket is actually $8, which is a 33% price increase. Still ridiculous, but it's a lot better. What would you rather have? A 33% price increase or a 66? Preferably, I'd have a 0%, but, if I have to choose, I guess I'll go with the 33. It's going to hurt a lot less. The second reason why I would want to reduce the price of returnables is because, we're bordered by, a few states. We got New York, that's close by. People could come over into Greenwich and all that, no problem. You got the whole top border of Massachusetts, and you got the whole eastern side with Rhode Island. Well, New York and Massachusetts do returnables, but they're at 5 cents. And you have Rhode Island that doesn't do it. So my thing is, what happens if these people come into Connecticut to do the returnables? First off, the Rhode Island people, they don't have any options, so they most likely are just going to come to us because they're like, 10 cents, why am I going to go to Mass for and take a hit? Might as well maximize my return as much as I can. And then you get the people in Massachusetts and in New York. If they live close enough to a border, why are they going to stay in their state and get 5 cents when they can come to Connecticut and get 10 cents? Now, I don't know how this works overall, if it's like the lottery, and, when you pay for the lottery, the money just kind of piles up into a fund that's for the lottery specifically, or if it's, so same thing, like all the returnable money goes into like a fund, and then when you go to get the payout, it's there to, okay, here's your money back. I don't know how this works, but all I think is it's got to be a net loss for Connecticut when somebody from Massachusetts comes and paid 5 cents per can, bottle, whatever, in Mass, and then they return it here for double the amount. There's got to be some kind of net loss for Connecticut there. And that just doesn't seem right. I'm not trying to produce net losses for the state. I don't want net losses for my state and benefiting outsiders, Yeah, sure, we all live in the same country, but we're different states. So I don't want to have people from Massachusetts benefiting from my state or people from New York benefiting from my state. I want people from my state benefiting from my state. So that's another reason why I think we should reduce it back to 5 cents, because at least then we're on the same playing field. If somebody does come from Mass, you're 5 cents, we're 5 cents. It's the same. Who cares? Maybe. Again, I don't even know how this really works. Maybe it does matter. Maybe those people that bought their cans up there, Massachusetts is getting, plus whatever amount of money from the returnables, and then they redeem it here and we're taking a loss. I don't know. But at least it's not as bad. We're all on the same playing field at 5 cents. You know what I mean? And then the last thing I would do is, with this new change to 10 cents, the returnable was added to like everything. It's added to juices and sweet teas like Arizona and all this, and it's ridiculous. When this change came in, they went way overboard. Not only did they double the price of the returnable, they just went crazy and like, we'll put it on this and on this and on this. Well, the juices and stuff are too big, okay? If you try to collect these, they fill up your bag way too fast. Places like, let's say, a Price Chopper Redemption Center can't handle them because their slots are just made for normal cans and bottles, not these big bulky orange juices or big bulky gallon jugs of Arizona or something. So it's just very impractical. Sure, it's a nice idea, but it's extremely impractical. So I would just take the returnable off of those altogether and just put them back to how they were. Just make them a normal recyclable item, no returnable, and just keep it on soda, beer, water, and just the normal drinks like it's always been at 5 cents instead of 10.